pardon, Priestess, but you've been staring out across Ashenvale for hours.
I sense something dark stirring within the forest, Chandris. It feels as if it's heading this way.
The Greenskins who killed Cenarius?
Perhaps. Perhaps something more.
Put your backs into it. Jaina and the Orc War Chief expect this base to be built swiftly.
Ah, we shouldn't even be here. Or siding with the Orcs.
We're here to hunt the remaining demons, human. You're lucky our goals are the same.
All right, you men. Mind your business. Back to work.
So, these orcs and humans presume to run rampant through our lands? They will regret ever stepping foot into Ashenvale. We will establish a base and deal with these outlanders as they deserve. The goddess calls. The Tree of Life is the heart of our Night Elf villages. Use the tree's ability to entangle the gold mine. After entangling the mine, send wisps in to extract gold.
Insufficient gold.
Ashrathoraman by Elun. Wisps are friendly spirits that harvest gold and lumber for our villages. They also create the structures that allow us to train more warriors.
Your building is complete. Insufficient gold.
Someone threatens the wilds? Immediately. The moon wells are the source of our nourishment and strength. You can build additional moon wells to nourish more troops.
We are preparing to leave this place, Priestess. There is a terrible evil corrupting these lands, and I will not allow it to consume my people. Unfortunately, we cannot leave until the rest of our tribe has been accounted for.
Do not fear, Old One. I will find your tribesmen and lead them back to you.
Thank you, Priestess. We will reward you when you return.
Immediately. As the goddess wills. The goddess calls. So be it. By Elun. As the goddess wills.
Insufficient gold.
Ashrathoraman. So be it. By Elun. Immediately. Someone threatens the wilds? The goddess calls.
Your building is complete.
Immediately. As the goddess wills. Train more troops, construct an ancient of war. The voice of Elun. The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds? I heed the voice of Elun. Immediately. Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman.
Your building is complete.
The goddess calls. By Elun. So be it. By Elun.
Your building is complete.
Someone threatens the wilds. I hear
Our
the voice
warriors
of
have
Elun.
engaged the enemy.
Ashrathoraman.
Insufficient gold. Insufficient gold.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds.
I stand ready.
Ashrathoraman. So be it. The goddess calls.
We can't build them.
I heed the voice of Elun.
Your
goddess
building
calls.
is complete.
I heed the voice of Elun. Immediately. By Elun.
I stand ready.
Your building
Ashrathoraman.
is complete.
Someone threatens the wilds. I heed the voice of Elun. The goddess calls. So be it.
Your building is complete.
I stand
Someone
ready.
threatens the wilds. I heed the voice of Elun. The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman.
I stand ready.
Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. Induli Rathad. Someone threatens the wilds.
Say no more. Fair enough. All too easy. I'll give it a shot. Point the way. Cry.
I heed the voice of Elun.
On your mark.
Ashrathoraman. By Elun. So be it. In the name of Cenarius,
I stand ready.
as the goddess wills. So be it. Induli Rathad.
Waiting on
The
you.
goddess calls. Someone threatens the wilds. By Elun.
I stand ready.
Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elun.
Your move.
We can't build them.
The goddess calls. As the goddess
stand
wills. Immediately.
Waiting on you. Say no more. Done.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds.
I stand ready.
Ashrathoraman.
Point the way.
The goddess calls.
On your mark.
Ashrathoraman.
I stand ready.
By Elun. So be it. By Elun.
Your building is complete.
As the goddess wills. By Elun. The goddess calls.
We can't build there.
I heed the voice of Elune. Immediately. So be it. Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elune. Immediately. Ashrathoraman.
Your building is complete.
Someone threatens the wilds. By Elune.
Point the way.
Ashrathoraman. As the goddess wills. Anudora!
Waiting on you.
Someone threatens the wilds.
I will say no more. Done. Say no more. All too easy.
Your building is complete.
I heed the voice of Elune.
Point the way. One shot. One kill. On your mark,
Your
done.
building is complete.
I'll give it a shot.
Your building is complete.
Fire.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman.
All too easy.
I heed the voice of Elune. Ashrathoraman.
Point the way. All too easy. I'll give it a shot.
The goddess. Bandu Thoribas mortals. You will pay for defiling these lands.
I'll give it a shot.
I heed the voice of Elune. Okalamdor! Someone threatens the wild.
Insufficient
Goddess
clothes.
calls.
On your mark. One shot. One kill.
Ashrathoraman.
Your building is complete.
So be it. Indula Rethab.
I stand.
Immediately.
Our warriors have engaged
As the goddess
enemy.
wills. Immediately. I heed the voice of Elune.
Waiting on you. Fair enough.
Someone threatens the wilds. In the name of Cenarius!
On your mark.
I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. As the goddess wills. I heed the voice of Elune.
Waiting on you.
Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elune.
Insufficient
Goddess
gold.
calls. Someone threatens the wilds.
Your move. I stand ready.
The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. Immediately. By Elune. Someone threatens the wilds. So be it. Ashrathoraman. As the goddess wills.
Point the way.
The goddess calls. So be it.
I stand ready.
I heed the voice of Elune.
On
The
your mark.
goddess calls. As the goddess wills.
I stand ready. I stand
Ashrathoraman.
ready.
By Elune. Immediately. So be it. Anudora! Induli Rethab. Someone threatens the wilds. Immediately. Anudora! By Elune. The goddess calls.
Point the way. All too easy. Cry havoc. Done. All too easy. I'll give it a shot. On your mark. Cry. Point the way. One shot. One kill. Point the way.
Ashrathoraman. Someone opens the wall.
You and me. On your mark.
Our sacred grove is being
Ashrathoraman.
desecrated.
Point the way, give it a shot. You and me. Point the way.
I heed the voice of Elune.
Our sacred grove.
Undead! Defend yourselves!
They must have followed us from Lordaeron.
Come save us. The dead advance in waves.
Quickly, my sisters, back to the trees. We are no match for a force this vast.
The undead are tireless. There's no way to outrun them.
You see, Lord Archimonde, we need not fear the Night Elves. The Scourge can...
Archimonde, after 10,000 years, how is it possible?
The Legion has returned to consume this world, woman. And this time, your troublesome race will not stop us.
Fools! Let her slip away! Find her, damn you! Find her and kill her!
The day we have long feared has finally come. The Burning Legion has returned. I must cross the river and warn the rest of my sisters before all is lost. Ashrathoraman, immediately.
These damn Night Elves cannot escape us! Lord Archimonde wants them found!
Immediately. So be it. As the goddess wills. I must avoid being seen. Immediately. By Elune. Immediately. By Elune. So be it. I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. By Elune, as the goddess wills. Ashrathoraman, so be it, immediately. I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. In the name of Cenarius! Ashrathoraman, so be it. The goddess calls. Immediately. As the goddess wills. Ashrathoraman, so be it. As the goddess wills. Immediately. As the goddess wills. Immediately. As the goddess wills. So be it. By Elune. Hinduli Rethad. So be it. As the goddess wills. So be it. Immediately. By Elune. Immediately. So be it. By Elune. So be it. Immediately. By Elune. So be it.
Our allies' town needs help.
As the goddess wills. The goddess calls. So be it. As the goddess wills. By Elune. So be it. As the goddess wills. Immediately. As the goddess wills. By Elune.
In the name of Cenarius!
So be it. As the goddess wills.
Anudora!
Someone threatens the wild.
In the name of
Aluna
Cenarius!
Dore, priestess. We are yours to command.
By Elune. So be it. By Elune. As the goddess wills. Immediately. As clearly the humans have no love for the undead, but I dare not trust them. The goddess wills. As the goddess wills. Ashrathoraman. By Elune. As the goddess wills. Immediately. So be it. As the goddess wills. Those orcs appear to be guarding some magical treasure. It might prove useful to me.
O Kalimdor! In the name of Cenarius! Anudora!
Are you not? Someone threatens the wild? Immediately. By Elune. As the goddess wills. Immediately. So be it. As the goddess wills. Immediately. So be it. By Elune. Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds. Immediately.
Alun Adore, priestess. Be wary. The Doomguards command shades that can see us, even when we meld with the shadows. We'd best stay away from them.
Ashrathoraman. Point away. Someone threatens the wilds. So be it.
Make it fast.
The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls. As the goddess wills. Enduli Refa. So be it. By Elune. As the goddess wills. Immediately. By Elune. As the goddess wills. By Elune. As the goddess wills. So be it. By Elune. Immediately. Someone threatens the wilds. As the goddess wills.
Your shadow powers will not hide you from our sight.
I heed the voice of Elune. Immediately. By Elune. O Kalimdor! As the goddess wills. By Elune. Immediately. So be it.
Ambush! Run for your lives! We'll regroup in the clearing ahead!
So be it. Immediately. By Elune. So be it. Immediately. Someone threatens the wilds, as the goddess wills. Ashrathoraman. Immediately.
Waiting on you.
The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman. As the goddess wills.
Fondu doth Balore.
Ishnu Allah, sisters. It is I, Tyrande. I heed the voice of Elune.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wilds? So be it. Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elune.
On your mark.
Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls. Immediately. Someone threatens the wilds? Ashrathoraman. As the goddess wills. So be it. As the goddess wills. So be it. Ah, these abandoned ballistas will help me break through the undead fortifications. Threatens the wilds? By Elune.
Right the way.
I heed the voice of Elune. As the goddess wills.
Your move.
Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls.
Speak your mind.
Anudora! Someone threatens the wilds. In the name of Cenarius! Anudora!
Waiting on you.
Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls.
Make it fast.
Someone threatens the wild. Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wild. Immediately. I heed the voice of Elune.
Standing guard.
Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wild. By Elune. As the goddess wills. The goddess calls. So be it. Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wild.
Speak your
The
mind.
goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. I heed the voice of Elune. Immediately. Okalamdor! Anudora! Someone threatens the wild. The goddess calls.
Standing guard.
As the goddess
In
wills.
position.
Someone threatens the wild. Immediately.
Standing guard.
I hear the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wild. In the name of Cenarius! Anudora! Okalamdor! So be it. By Elune. I must reach the river before the dawn breaks. I cannot remain hidden during the day. So be it. The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. Ashrathora. I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. Immediately. So be it.
Tyrande, praise Elune you've made it. The undead appeared out of nowhere and attacked our village without warning.
Ishnudaldieb Chandris, we have a greater problem. The undead were sent here by the Burning Legion, our ancient enemies of old. Against such might, we have only one option. We must awaken the Druids. With Cenarius dead, it falls to us to awaken the Druids. We must recover the demigod's horn from the sacred Moonglade Isle. Only its clarion call can awaken the Druids from their slumber.
But, Priestess, the orcs have established a crude settlement upon the Isle. We'll need to fight our way through them to reach Cenarius' horn.
Priestess Tyrande, thank Elune we found you. The undead are advancing upon the nearby Barrow Dens. The dens seem abandoned, but
There is one Druid sleeping within them, sister. Furion Stormrage. He is the wisest and most powerful of all the Druids. He must be warned that the Legion has returned.
then we'd better hurry. If the undead overtake his den before he's awakened...
Let us make haste, my sisters. All our hopes rest on Furion's awakening. I heed the voice of Elune.
Insufficient gold.
Ashrathoraman. I heed the voice of Elune.
More lumber is required.
Ashrathoraman.
Research finished.
Someone threatens the wilds.
Hi! What is nature's call?
The
Making
goddess
trails.
calls.
Insufficient gold.
I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wilds.
What is nature's
I
call?
heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wilds.
Insufficient gold.
Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds.
Research finished. Insufficient gold.
The goddess calls, as the goddess wills. Someone threatens the wilds, so be it. Ashrathoraman, by Elune.
On your mark.
Research
I
finished.
heed the voice of Elune.
Point the way.
So be it. By Elune.
Your building is complete.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman. Immediately.
Make it fast. Are we being invaded?
Someone threatens the wilds.
Your building is complete.
Okalamdor.
I stand ready.
Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild.
Upgrade finished. We can't build there. Research finished. Goddess, light my path.
Loktarogar! For War Chief Thrall!
Ashrathoraman. By Elune.
A standing guard.
As the goddess wills.
Anudora!
Your building is complete.
The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wild. Ashrathoraman.
In position.
Someone threatens the
Research
wild. I heed the voice of Elune.
Insufficient gold.
Ashrathoraman. The goddess calls. By Elune.
Is there trouble?
Ashrathoraman.
Your building is complete.
The goddess calls.
Insufficient gold.
So be it.
Goddess,
Ashrathoraman.
light my path.
Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. As the goddess wills. By Elune. As the goddess wills.
I
By
am
Elune.
sworn to avenge. Are we being invaded?
Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls.
Ah, the great
Someone
outdoors.
threatens the wilds. I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls.
What is nature's call?
Ashra
Hi!
Thoraman.
What is nature's call?
I heed the voice of Elune.
Is there trouble?
As the goddess wills. So be it. Immediately.
Strike fast! Ensnare them all before they regroup.
Someone comes the wild.
Standing guard. Are we being
I heed the
invaded?
voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wilds. So
Is
be
there
it.
trouble?
Ashra
the trees.
Thoraman. I heed the voice of
Your
Elune.
building is complete.
The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elune. Ashra Thoraman. The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. Ashra Thoraman. I heed the voice of Elune.
Your building is
I stand.
complete.
Ashra Thoraman. Someone threatens the wild. Ashra Thoraman. I heed the voice
Hi.
of Elune. Ashra Thoraman. The goddess calls. Ashra Thoraman. Someone threatens the wild. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wild. Oh, Kalimdor! Walk away. The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. I heed the voice of Elune. The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elune. Anudora! Ashra Thoraman. In the name of Cenarius! Someone threatens the wild.
I am sworn to avenge.
I heed the voice of Elune. As the goddess wills. Immediately.
Are we being invaded?
Ashra Thoraman.
Insufficient gold.
I heed the voice of Elune. Ashra Thoraman. I heed the voice of Elune. Sentinels, attack! The goddess
Your
calls.
building is complete.
I heed the voice of Elune. Anudora! As the goddess wills. Someone threatens the wild. The goddess calls. Hinduliapa. Ashra Thoraman.
Our warriors have
The goddess
engaged the
calls.
enemy.
Ashra Thoraman.
Insufficient
I
gold.
heed the voice of Elune. O Kalimdor!
Our warriors have
The
engaged the
goddess
enemy.
calls. By Elune. Someone threatens the wild.
Ready.
Ashra Thoraman.
Hi!
I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wilds. Ashra Thoraman. Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. Ashra Thoraman. Hinduli Refa. So be it. By Elun. Anudora!
These elves are stronger than we thought.
Someone threatens the wild.
Make it
The
fast.
goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. The goddess
I
calls.
stand ready.
Hinduli Refa. Anudora! Ashithoraman. The goddess calls. Ashithoraman. I heed the voice of Elun.
Insufficient gold.
Someone threatens the wild.
Darkness light my path.
I heed the voice of Elun.
Is there trouble?
Ashithoraman.
Speak your mind.
Someone threatens the wild. So be it. Ashithoraman.
Make it fast. Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
The goddess calls.
Goddess,
Ashithoraman.
light my path.
Someone threatens the wild.
Insufficient
Ashra
goddess,
Orama.
light my path.
I heed the voice of Elun.
I am
Ashra
sworn to
Orama.
avenge.
The goddess calls. Ashithoraman. As the goddess wills. Someone threatens the wild. The goddess calls. By Elun. Someone threatens the wild.
Goddess,
I
light
heed the
my
voice of
goddess,
Elun.
light my path.
So be it. As the goddess wills. So be it. As the goddess wills. Ashithoraman. Someone threatens the wilds. By Elun. Hinduli Refa. The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wilds.
Insufficient
I heed
gold.
the voice of Elun.
Your
Ashra
building is
Thoraman.
complete.
The goddess calls. In the name of Cenarius! As the goddess wills. So be it. I heed the voice of Elun. Someone threatens the wild. Ashithoraman. Someone threatens the wild.
Insufficient
Ashithoraman. As the goddess wills.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elun.
Standing guard.
The goddess calls.
Waiting on you.
Someone threatens the wild. Immediately. I heed the voice of Elun. I Elun. So be it. Immediately. By Elun. Ashithoraman.
Speak your mind.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashithoraman.
Hi! Are we being invaded? Our warriors have engaged the
I
enemy.
heed the voice of Elun. Ashithoraman.
Our sacred
Is there
grove
trouble?
is being
I heed
desecrated.
the voice of Elun. Someone threatens the wilds. Ashithoraman. The goddess calls. Ashrathoraman. Create more
great
myths.
outdoors.
Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman.
On your
Someone
mark.
threatens the wilds.
Goddess, light
What is
my
nature's
path.
call?
The goddess calls.
Are we being invaded?
I heed the voice of Elune. Immediately. Someone threatens the wild. I heed the voice of Elune. So be it. Immediately. As the goddess wills.
I am sworn to avenge.
Someone threatens the wild.
Is there trouble? In position, standing guard.
I'm game.
Ashrathoraman. Someone threatens the wilds. I heed the voice of Elune. Someone threatens the wild. Ashrathoraman. Hinduli Rathad. Someone threatens the wilds. By Elune. I heed the voice of Elune. So be it.
Your building is complete.
The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wilds. Ashrathoraman. So be it. Immediately.
Feel nature's wrath.
Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls. For humanity. Someone threatens the wilds. The goddess calls.
In position. Make it fast. Standing guard.
Ashrathoraman. Anudora! By Elune. Hinduli Rathad. Immediately. So be it. By Elune. I heed the voice of Elune. Ashrathoraman.
Great outdoors.
Okalamdor.
Are we being invaded? Our warriors have engaged
What
the
is
enemy.
nature's
The
call?
goddess calls. I
Insufficient
heed the
gold.
voice of Elune.
Insufficient gold.
The goddess calls. Someone threatens the wild. The goddess calls. I heed the voice of Elune. At last, the horn of Cenarius. Now we can awaken Furion.
The horn has sounded, and I have come, as promised. I smell the stench of decay and corruption in our land. That angers me greatly. Come forth, you defenders of old. Crush these invaders, as you did in ages past. It has been 1,000 years since I last looked upon you, Tyrande. I thought of you every moment I roamed through the Emerald Dream.
My heart rejoices to see you again, Furion. But I would not have awakened you unless the need was urgent.
In the dream, I felt our land being corrupted, just as if it were my own body. You were right to awaken me.
The Burning Legion has returned, Furion. Cenarius is dead, and Outlanders roam freely through our most sacred vales.
As was foretold. No doubt Aklimond will make his way to Hyjal Summit and attack the World Tree. If he succeeds in draining the tree's energies, this world will be doomed.
My only thought was to awaken you and the rest of the Druids. The Druids of the Talon reside within the Barrow Dens at the end of this valley. If we can reach them, we may have a chance to stop Archimonde and his demons.
That did it, boys! We've driven them off! Let's regroup back at the base and tend to our wounded.
So, the Outlanders battle against the undead as well. They could prove to be powerful allies against Archimonde and his ilk.
They are mongrels and nothing more. They are responsible for Cenarius' death. I will be damned before I stand with them.
Perhaps you are right, my love. We will establish our new settlement here. Keep your sentries alert. I doubt that we have seen the last of the Outlanders or the undead.